Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Gene. You guys are watching Lubed for January the 17th, 2024. You guys, the Edmonton Oilers are on an 11-game heater right now. I'm like mind blown at how good this team is actually playing. 11 straight wins. You don't see this very often by any team in the NHL, let alone the Edmonton Oilers, the team that we root for. This is really starting to impress me more and more. And last night's game, without a doubt, was almost a playoff-like atmosphere. The building was wild. The chants were going for both teams. Really, really good effort by the Edmonton Oilers. However, they definitely like to make it tricky and hard on us, as the Toronto Maple Leafs would score within the first 30 seconds. Actually, it was Austin Matthews by an absolute beautiful feed from Mitch Marner. But the Oilers found a way. They were down 2-0 and found a way to win 4-2 with 4 unanswered. And that is fabulous. So, we got lots to discuss on this channel today, as we will discuss the Maple Leafs and Oilers game as it was 4-2. And the potential of Corey Perry coming back into the fold here for the Edmonton Oilers. So, lots of stuff. And then also Kris Knoblauch. Would you consider him in the Adams conversation already? So I do have a vote on that. We're also going to go over the vote results from last week with the Draisaitl thing. I promised you guys I would do that. But let's get into the Edmonton Oilers and the Toronto Maple Leafs game that we saw last night. As the Edmonton Oilers just are playing. They're playing where they can win the tight games now, and this was something that was always kind of their Achilles heel. They had to always have super offense from McDavid and super offense from Draisaitl and have to add a lethal power play. Now they are playing this in a way where they can win those tight games and they can grind out teams. And if we add Corey Perry, which we're going to get into that pretty soon, there was some discussion on Oilers Nation Every Day with Tyler Yaramchuk. He had Frank Saravelli on there. We're going to discuss that in a bit. But we're going to get into the Leafs game first and foremost. As, again, it was a 4-2 win, which this result actually makes it look like it was a little bit more looser of a game. No, it was actually 3-2 and an empty netter. And yeah, it was just a perfect game. I don't even have the let me just pull that up here. The scoring summary from yesterday's game here. I will get that right now, popped up, so we can go over that. That was yesterday's game, Tuesday, and there it is right here, Toronto, Edmonton. Okay. Sorry about the delay, guys. Let's just see if okay, there's. I got the scoring summary up right now. So again, it started with Austin Matthews, number 34, getting his 34th of the year from a beautiful pass from Mitchell Marner. So they kind of put them back together again, and they're doing some pretty incredible stuff again. Pontus Holmberg would also get the secondary assist on that, and it's a 1-0 game for Toronto very early. And of course, all of us are like, a little deflated, like we're not going to get to 11. And that was my instant thought. I'm like, uh-oh. In the second period, it was reinforced a little bit more when Morgan Riley gets his 7th from Austin Matthews and Pontus Holmberg, his second assist of the night. 2-0 Edmonton. But very, very quickly after that, like 4 minutes later, Leon Draisaitl getting his 21st from Evan Bouchard and Matthias Ekholm. We end the second period 2-1. In the third period, Derek Ryan. Clutch, man. Derek Ryan from Ryan McLeod and Matthias Janmark. That line is looking fabulous. They would tie it, and we have a game. Then Ryan McLeod would get the game leading the first lead for the Oilers of the game from Connor McDavid and Cody Ceci. Absolute patience as he risked it just past, what would it be? I guess blocker side high. And 3-2, Edmonton sailing in. And then Evan Bouchard lobs one up and just had just enough pace to get the empty netter in the net to clinch the game. 4-2 is your score for the Edmonton Oilers. Absolute beauty of a game. Can't complain. Let's go down to the game breakdown. As the shots on goal were 32-27 for the Edmonton Oilers. Power play opportunities, the Oilers were 0 for 1, 0%. Their power play is not what it was last year, but everything else is different. Their penalty kill is also not the same thing, and it's improved. As they were also 1 for 1 on the penalty kill, 100%. On the face-off dot, they were actually a little bit more successful by the Maple Leafs by about 2%, 52% on the dot. And then my 3 stars, and this is how I picked it. I'm going to go with McLeod for the game-winning goal. I thought that was an absolute clutch. I love the patience he had on it. Then Derek Ryan for being clutch on that. And honestly, this could be up and down the list. All 3 of these could be the first star, second star, and third star. Stuart Skinner was getting crashed on by so many players of the Maple Leafs. I'm surprised he walked out of that game uninjured, because there was some really, really bad net crashing in that game on a couple of occasions. And a couple of occasions, he looked like he was hurt. But luckily he didn't. He's been absolutely lights out. He's been the goalie the Edmonton Oilers have been asking for 5-6 years now. 5 or 6 years, yeah. I think, geez, it could even be longer than that. Mike Smith was lights out pretty good for us too. So yeah, the Oilers win 4-2. They extend their winning streak to 11 games. I still can't believe I'm saying that. 11 games. And the conversation today slipped over to Corey Perry. When I got home today, I was reading an article from basically Oilers Nation Every Day with Tyler Yaremchuk. He's also on YouTube as well. He's a pretty big deal too, because he gets some pretty elaborate guests. So he had Frank Saravelli on there, and he stated that Corey Perry has a list of about 5 to 7 teams, and it sounds like Oilers are kind of the top of that list for him to consider joining the Edmonton Oilers. Now, I don't know what your thoughts are on Corey Perry. There's been times in his career I thought he was a dirty scumbag. When he was on Anaheim, I did not like a lot of the stuff that he did. But one thing he does bring is he lives, breathes, and sleeps hockey. There's no doubt about it. He's all about hockey. Yes, he's the elder statesman now, 37 years old, I believe. So he doesn't necessarily have that talent like he had when he was on Anaheim with Getzlaf. But he brings a different element now. He brings that feistiness, which we'll get into shortly here. Another thing that he brings is he has got that Stanley Cup pedigree. He's been to the Cup 4 times. He's only won it once, unfortunately. And the last, what was it? I don't know if it was last year, but the 3 years prior to that with Dallas. Who was it? Dallas, Montreal, and Tampa Bay. He was the runner-up 3 years in a row. That's an owie. That's definitely an owie. That would hurt. But he is a hard player. He brings it when he plays. He'd be a great third or fourth line addition. And one of the reasons being that is he would bring a little bit more bite to the lineup. I hate to say it, like Evander Kane kind of dropped off a little bit ever since that injury. He still brings a little bit of bite, but not nearly as much as he did prior to that injury. And maybe that's right for his health, because maybe he's scared of screwing up that wrist a little bit more. Because I really don't think that wrist, when you got a cut that severe and tendons getting cut, I think there's probably areas of his hands he still hasn't felt and may never feel again. So the fact that he brings a little bit more bite would be a welcome addition. Whatever happened in Chicago, one thing we know with Chicago is they have no room for any errors. So that's probably why they relieved him of his contract, because Gary Bettman reinstalled him. It's not like he did something so egregious that Gary Bettman was like doing like Voinoff there of LA. Like, no, you're out of the league, or like Rafi Torres given a 47 game suspension or whatever it was. So I like that fact. And he has won at all ages and all various leagues. He's heavily decorated. He's won, I believe, the Hart Trophy. I believe he's won a lot of awards. He had the scoring title 1 year in Anaheim. He's a guy that, like I said at the very beginning of this segment here, he lives, breathes, dreams, and sleeps hockey. So would I like Corey Perry on the Edmonton Oilers? For sure. I totally would. Now that all the other BS has been filtered out and that we know is untrue, I would definitely take him on. So I'm kind of crossing my fingers we can get him. He would be a great addition to the Edmonton Oilers. All right. Here's something to talk about. Kris Knoblauch. Now, are we jumping the gun on this? And I want to get your guys' opinion, as this is going to be the vote. But before I get into the Kris Knoblauch, I just want to give you an update on last week's vote I had on the Leon Draisaitl. Was he offside? There was 17 votes that came in on the YouTube community page. 53% said yes, he was offside. So there you go. Clear-cut favorite. Yes, was the deal. As far as Kris Knoblauch goes, my question for you guys this week is Kris Knoblauch, do you think Kris Knoblauch should be considered for the Jack Adams for being a finalist at least? For his work so far. So I'm giving you 3 options here because I think it's only fair. I'm going to give you the yes option, I'm going to give you the no option, and I'm going to give you the undecided because it's too early. I know where I'm voting. I'm a homer. I'm going to go yes on it. What I've seen out of him so far, yeah, I definitely think he should be considered a finalist. He's done things in his coaching career this quick that hasn't been done in the NHL. So yeah, he's got my vote for sure as a yes. And he's done a couple of things. That one of them was the 2 7-game winning streaks. It's never happened before. And the amount of wins that he's got hasn't been done by any coach in 100 years. I think it was something like that. So yes, I personally think he should definitely have some consideration. Whether he wins it or not is a different story. But he should be one of the finalists for sure. For sure. What he's done so far, absolutely remarkable. All right. So that brings us to tomorrow's game against the Seattle Kraken. Now, the Seattle Kraken and the Edmonton Oilers are kind kind of in the mix, chasing each other here. So this could be a very interesting game as the Edmonton Oilers look to continue their streak. However, the Seattle Kraken know that they are in a fight with this very same team and that they need to get things done. So, I got that ticket going by accident. So with that being said, you guys, let's just drive into this one here and let's get into the game here. The Oilers record 23-15-1, fourth in the Pacific with 47 points. The Kraken record, oops, I didn't update that 47. I believe it's 49 now is their points. The Kraken, of course, have 47 points right on their tail. With a record of 19-16-9. They have 47 points in the Pacific Division. Like I said, this is going to be a fight. Both teams are kind of in the mix. The Edmonton Oilers, of course, on an 11-game winning streak. The Kraken are on a 2-game losing streak. Away from home, Seattle has a pretty reputable record as they are 10-8-6. The Oilers are 12-6-1 at home. When it comes to the goaltenders, Joey Decord has 2 shutouts, a .923 save percentage, and he has a record of 13-6-8. Meanwhile, Skinner has he's been lights out lately, but his save percentage probably still taken down from the early segments of October, November, when things just weren't going the Edmonton Oilers' way. So his save percentage is .903, 2 shutouts, 19-9-1 with a 2.61 goals against average. The comparable stats that make this very interesting. So first of all, goals. Edmonton is 5th in the league. Seattle's 27th in the league. So that's a huge factor right there. The Oilers are also first in the league with shots on goal at 34.3. So they're peppering their goaltenders. Seattle 25th. When it comes to shooting percentage, Edmonton's 13th. They're 21. So a lot of indicators lead me to believe that the Edmonton Oilers are the favorite to win this game. And the way they are playing, I'd say that, yeah, that should be good. Because that Toronto game, I'll tell you what, man, that really impressed me, that Toronto game last night. Shots allowed, Edmonton is 4th in the league, allowing 28.1. Seattle is 11th in the league at 29.8. So there's a lot of good things here. Oilers are 11th on the penalty kill. Seattle's 14th. But when I look at everything in a whole, the Edmonton Oilers are the favorite to win this one. And as of note, the last time they played, Edmonton won 4-3 on November 15th, 2023. You may also remember this as the last game that Jay Woodcroft coached for the Edmonton Oilers. So it should be a decent game, I'm hoping. I'm hoping for an Edmonton Oilers win, but we'll see. We will see as we move forward and hope for the best. And we will get back to this. And guys, it's time for your final thoughts. No one chimed in tonight. So I'm just going to quickly say, what we're seeing out of the Edmonton Oilers is absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous to see this out of any NHL team, let alone our favorite team, the Edmonton Oilers. I'm stunned right now. I'm absolutely stunned at how amazing this team is. And I think Corey Perry could very well be a great fit for the Edmonton Oilers going forward. And I think that's about all I got for tonight, guys. I'd love to see you guys chime in. I always like hearing from you guys and bringing your thoughts to the table. Go to the YouTube community page. Cast your vote on the vote that I ran today. Again, that's do you think Kris Knoblauch should be in the conversation for the Adams Trophy? Again, I think he should be. All right, guys. If you are watching this channel for the very first time and you think the content I bring to you is actually pretty decent, feel free to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Also pass it along to all your buddies. I'd like to grow this channel as much as I can. You can also join me and Sammy on NHL Aftermath. We do that every 2 weeks where we have a NHL discussion podcast of what's the latest events going on in the league. And as for the rest of you guys, my loyal followers that have stuck by me through thick and thin, try to stay warm, try to drive safe. I know road conditions right now here in British Columbia. I drive the highway every day, and it was a very interesting morning commute. So stay safe. Don't push yourself. Give yourself extra time to get to work, and stick by us, and will join us in because we are going to see some remarkable moments out of this Edmonton Oilers team this year. All right, guys, I'm out, man. You guys have a great night.